Yes, it worked. We're live. Welcome back, guys. As you can see, back in the studio. Looks pretty sharp on there. Really happy about that. Kind of a double screen share, or that's just the hero background there. I don't know. I'll let the producer sort that out. I'm here with you guys on episode 87. Good to see you, Scott, Boris. Welcome back, Edge of Ledge. The regulars, the crew, the squad. We're back. I'm just looking to get the TradingView chat up here today because, Tesla buying Bitcoin. I feel like maybe there'd be a little bit more buzz in the TradingView chat because, it's a stock. They love stocks. So let me just upsize that. And that. There we go. What up, TV? All right, good to see you guys. If you're checking in from Facebook, that's Cryptocurrency Investing, or you're just following us on our page, Hxro Labs, welcome. Good to see you guys. Should be up on Periscope. Crypto Messiah, one of our brethren, brother from another mother, is streaming right now. Shitcoin Church, delayed because of the Super Bowl, fell right into our time slot. So we thought, you know what, we'll just push it back a little. I think he is near wrapping up. I see him. He's still on there. But, we got to eat. We got families. We got dinner. So we're going to overlap here a little bit, and then we will surely pick up where he left off when he closes off shortly. So if you guys are joining us from over there on Shitcoin Church, welcome. Good to see you guys. Crazy, big, and frankly, pretty expected news that Tesla finally took the dive, bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. A small drop in the bucket for a large company like that, but a significant signal to the rest of the world. The Bitcoin's here to stay, and the big boys are not laughing anymore. They are joining the fun. Might be the first time in history that the billionaires are pumping the little guys' bags. That is, if you are one of the little guys who bought any amount of Bitcoin in the last ever. If you did, congratulations. You beat a lot of really rich, powerful, smart people to the punch. And it looks like this party, this floodgate, is just getting started. Now, try telling that to somebody who looks at charts for a living and sees the weekly on Bitcoin and says, holy shit, that's overbought. That's high up. That's expensive. And they're right. It is way up from where it was once upon a time. This time last year, February, we were at about 10K, something like that. Dove all the way down to 3,200 on some exchanges during the big crash in March 13th, 2020, lest we forget, Black, whatever day it was, Friday, Monday, doesn't matter. Believe it was a Thursday, actually. But anyways, one of those moments where you're like, I remember where I was when Bitcoin was on sale. And it was really hard to buy. It was a hard, tough buy. Just like at the top, it will be a hard, tough sell. And you can't ever see those things until they're in the past. And so we put a trading plan together. We trade from strength when possible. We de-risk when we're way up on money so that if there's a rug, if there is an exit, if there's a crash, if there's news, it won't really affect us that much. Bottom line stays intact. That's the name of the game. So I've got a few things that I'm doing here today, and a stupid little story about how my morning went leading into this big pump on Bitcoin. Not that big a deal. It's like a profitable trade becomes less profitable, and likely I panic exited at an inopportune time on one particular coin that I was long on. And then just bought some of it back today because I was like, well, generally speaking, I want to be long on this one. The coin I'm speaking about is MATIC. I am long on it. I bought some last week. It had a really nice rally. We'll get into the chart there shortly. Actually, whatever. Let's pull it up. One of my positions, like the only position that I had today that I was really concerned with or, looking at. And it was weird because I actually woke up in the middle of the night, as I sometimes do. And then because I can, I reach over and grab my phone and go, oh, I wonder what the Asians are doing. And MATIC was up, up in this 200 sat area. And I remember thinking like, okay, like, some resistance there, a little higher than I expected. I actually thought the initial, green screen might explode. Just bear with me. Yeah, here we are. So anyways, I was looking at this initial resistance to pay myself, and then it went even higher. So I woke up last night and I was like, you know what, 4 a.m., fuck it. Kind of want to close some MATIC, but I have a rule because I often do this, and then I have this, like, I'm half awake and I make some big exit or entry or something, and then I wake up and, you know, go to the big screens and I see what's going on, and then I go, what the hell was I doing? So I have a rule. I don't do that anymore. And so at 7:30, I woke up once again and checked, and it was just coming off like 197. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm for sure comfortable like paying myself a little here, being long from 120, 115. And I go to my Binance account, and the app is just frozen. It's showing zero balance. My orders aren't showing, you know, I had a stop losses and stuff. And I was like, well, that's annoying. You know, what's up with that? And so I just was like, okay, house code on, going downstairs, get to the screens. Every bell and whistle is going off. You know, Bitcoin, 41,000, Bitcoin, 40,000, Bitcoin, 42,000. All my alerts are just exploding. And I was like, well, fuck, you know, not that I saw that coming necessarily this morning, but I certainly know that that will affect my MATIC position. And, you know, as it would, not a major pullback. In fact, pretty normal in a bullish move. But not being allowed to do what I want to do really grinds my gears. And I was stressed. I was experiencing stress. And I ended up finally refreshing after, like, you know, this is like the longest 2 hours of your life, right? Can't load, gateway, bad gateway, 503 error, can't load page. And so anyways, I ended up selling out of the position at like 163, like a fucking pleb, and 155. So that was salty. Of course, then the dust settles, bounces back up. Now it's trickling back down. So whatever. You know, profitable trade, not the end of the world. You know, I think a lot of people got caught in that same situation with shorts. Really rough. Other positions they couldn't close that otherwise ended up getting liquidated or something. That's really gross. Anyways, shout out to Binance. You got to get your shit together, guys, because the herd is coming. And if you are going to turn into the exchange that just goes down during volatility, and I get it, it's not as easy as just like, oh, make it happen. But you're pretty friggin' rich. You got a lot of money, and I expect you to do better during volatility, because as a trader, it's not even like a threat. Who cares if I leave, right? You guys will be fine. But I just won't trade there if I can't trust that I can trade 24/7. You know, dealing with some serious funds here, and I can't be on overload. You know, that's why I left BitMEX, and they're not around too much anymore. They're around, but, you know, they're not the hot spot. So you got to handle that load, Binance. We're going to count this one. I generally am a big fan of Binance, big supporter. I know it's tough. Millions of people signing up, millions of people pulling data, millions of people doing things. But it's a service you're offering, and you're getting paid handsomely for it. So I expect better. Rant complete. All in all, yeah, FTX, Slippery Coin says go to FTX. I have an FTX account. I'm a bit of an exchange whore. I have accounts at almost every exchange. Even ones I haven't used in years, like Kraken. I signed up in 2017. I still have that account. Poloniex, OKX, OKCoin, all that. I've got them all. But, you know, I don't like to sign into 20 different ones a day. I typically now stick to Binance because they offer me everything I need. Binance and FTX are my main two bays. Yeah. And then, and then you go to the DEX and you're like, oh. So, and you know, in a weird way, to be an optimist, which I tend to be, that's actually kind of a good sign, right? It's kind of a reminder that we're so early. I mean, I don't know the last time I got news that like the New York Stock Exchange wasn't working because of overload, right? They're huge. They're scaled. Things tend to operate a little smoother over there. I'm sure there's some kind of blips. But we are in dial-up on crypto. And an example like today really just shows how much growth there is yet to come in an infrastructure point of view. Now, funny thing, I heard, I was watching Messiah on his stream, and he mentioned that Kraken apparently shut down exchange signups because of the overload and all this shit. And that just reminded me, like 2017, late 2017 and early 2018, people were buying Binance accounts. They were putting up offers saying like, I will, okay, I'm going to turn that off. Just getting Twitter alerts. Saying I will pay you, 1.5 Bitcoin to sell me the credentials to your Binance account so that I can trade on it, because things were so hot. There was so much money to be made. And if you're a whale or you're just whoever, and you think I can make all that back, then you're going to pay for that access. And they weren't letting people sign up at the time. There was just too much. So are we heading into an environment where it is, not allowed to even get onto these things. Seems plausible. I mean, at some point you have to shut the gate and just say, look, guys, we can't handle the load we have right now until we scale. And we're going to be screwing over our entire business if we just keep letting people in to use this platform. And, like we saw today, there was a few exchanges that didn't handle the load very well. So I will be keeping an eye on that. I actually have, I'm not selling my Binance account. Let's put it that way. But, I'm sure there are people that would, because if you're a small account trader, somebody offers you from a whale position like a large amount. I don't know how you would even facilitate that transaction, but I guess it's like money first and then we'll talk. Anyways, we'll see. That's going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. And it is also an open door for whichever exchange can scale. FTX doing really well in that regard. So we'll see, who keeps up, because the floodgates are opening, guys. It's, I hear 1% of people own Bitcoin. Now I'm hearing 2% of people own some Bitcoin. When 5%, 250% gain. When 10%, when 25%, right? There's some big numbers. And what I see is that it will continue to grow. So anyways, so that's MATIC. Ultimately just a bullish throwback. Lots of buy volume coming in. I'm excited about this one. I feel naked without this position. And I feel a little gross, for my trade journal today. I have to discuss how in the moment I got a little emotional. When I finally was allowed to, I ended up selling there. Again, it was a really nice trade, all told. If I made that much on a trade each week, I'd be a happy camper. But I don't like how this executed for me. So I'm reflecting on that as a trader today. What other things are in my bag? I picked up some Rook in this pump chaser zone. So we'll see, added to my Rook bag there. I didn't have a very substantial bag that I kind of wanted to have a bigger position because I just feel like it's a slower mover for now. Probably pretty safe bet given the sort of feedback or research that I'm hearing from Messiah, who, by the way, on Shitcoin Church recently just did a deep dive on Rook. I have to go back and watch it. I missed part of it, came back, saw that he was discussing Rook, the hiding game, all these different things, arbitrage, making money, trading on it. Like, there's clearly a ton of shit I don't know about it, except for that number go up. So that's why I keep adding on these dips. Not sure why getting notifications. They're supposed to be off. Anyways, yeah. No sell mine to anyone. Jordan did Juice says he'll sell his accounts to anyone. I mean, I think it's an easy sell. If you're any account size and somebody's offering you an amount that is like a big win, be careful. Obviously, I don't know how to facilitate those transactions, but yeah, like it makes sense because someday down the road, patience will pay and you will get an account anyways. So if somebody's like, I have no patience, I'm going to pay all this money just to have it now, and you're willing to be the patient one, you get rewarded. I think it's, I would have sold mine back in 2017, but nobody offered. Nobody offered me money on that. It was more like hearing reports of. So imagine a world where you're farming accounts now, where it's like, I'm going to sign up to 20 Binance accounts and not KYC them, but just have that limited access kind of account and then just farm them off to people when that time comes. There's an idea. I won't be doing it, but it's probably not the worst idea that I have flabbergasted out of my face today. Let's take a look at the ETH futures. That's the big news coming into Monday. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of uncertainty. Looks pretty happy to me. No real, like, oh yeah, we can finally short ETH. We're going to short it to the ground. There's a lot of key differences between this time and last time. Let's look. I mean, this is just the altcoin market cap. But it actually went up a little bit after Bitcoin, but Bitcoin basically was like around here on the all-time, chart when that short came in, and it's a little different. Whereas right now we're actually just breaking the all-time highs on all coins, right? This is the market cap excluding Bitcoin. Just breaking into all-time highs. It seems like a weird spot for smart money to come in and say, oh, we are confident shorting this to the ground. Given all of the fundamentals that we see in the market, given the exchange signups we just talked about, the transactional volume, the DeFi dominance, the cash flow that's happening in DeFi, real use cases, real money being made by just passively holding certain stables on certain platforms. I mean, it's a different beast. So how confident can you be, putting on massive short positions here on something, or, if we zoom out to Ethereum, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, and then this is the coin that you're looking to short. If you have any technical analyst working at your firm, your fund, whatever, they would be fired, I think, if their advice to you was to short this chart that's trading against Bitcoin in the kind of market we're in. I just think it would be bad advice. So, I was a little bit unsure how this would go. I figured it would be volatile, but it was not the play to, like, in my opinion, to rush in and short it. I'll tell you what the play is that I did make, and I highlighted this on a video I put out Saturday morning, I believe. Grabbing some of that volatility with TIX paid off really nicely. I would have to estimate exactly when I put that video, but it was like Saturday, and basically I got paid if price moved to 16. I had some wicks to 16, and I have wicks still to 18, and it's weirdly perfect the way it's playing out right now, because they expire all the way over here on the 12th. Messy little line for you there. So I still have all of this time, and the play was basically, I'm going to get paid if it wicks to here. I'm going to close my ticks if it gets to here, because I bought them at 30 cents, and right around here they were trading at 50 or 60 cents. So I sold them. It was about 100% ROI on that ticks contract when I closed it. The wicks obviously self-executed for about a 40% gain. And I still have my ETH wicks here for the end of the week. So that's February 12th, touch 18. Almost did it this morning. It was like 1777. But it's just like a bang, bang volatility play. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. Almost, it's a free position now. So just say it somehow doesn't touch 18 by the 12th. This would be a winning trade. But if this 1,000 that I put on here pays off, it'll pay out about 1,400. That's pretty cool too. Little 40% gainer. So happy with that. I got another ETH wicks that is all the way out to the 26th, end of the month, for 400. That's looking like could do well. And then obviously I've got some longer dated ETH and BTC TIX contracts. So if we just stay or close above 1,700 at the end of March, which I think we will, obviously at this point it looks good. That'll pay out. And then BTC closing above 50K. Bought that one during one of those big old fatty dips a couple weeks back. Figured, I'm just going to park a few $100 into this. So that's how I grabbed the volatility this weekend. It worked out really well. I am wrapping my head slowly but surely around my favorite strategies for TIX wicks. Basically, I don't know on futures there where I want to buy, long, short, whatever, stop losses. It gets crazy. Funding, like, it's a lot simpler for me to just come on here and just buy some of these contracts, and they execute or they don't. And my risk is the amount on the contract. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It obviously worked out, so that's great. And really good news on that front, guys. And I'll be honest, I'm not some hot shot options trader. You guys probably already figured that out by now, because I always just talk half knowledge about them. So shout out to Rob Levy, president of Hxro, who I get to work with. I get the privilege of jumping on calls with just about every morning. And we were talking about this into the Saturday, and he is very active in the TIX Wicks Telegram, which is free, by the way. It's just where a lot of guys go to talk strategies. So you guys ever want a link to that, you can ask. And he's in there all the time. And this is one of the ideas we pulled together. So I owe him a beer. And great news for all of us, because through all of our conversations, he teaches me what he knows. I mean, the guy's been on the pit floor for years and now is creating Hxro. So really smart dude. Anyways, he's going to come on. We're going to be doing a stream on Wednesday. So he'll be on here Wednesday to share his ideas, share his alpha. He's been trying to help me wrap my head around, the idea of like buying spot and then shorting futures against it and making money on the spread. And it does make my head spin a little bit as he describes it, but he keeps showing me and he keeps sharing with me, and it's starting to make sense. And then using optionality to trade against that, and just basically finding all of this really tight locked in profit in between all those positions. And he's going to be coming on Wednesday to talk about it. And then more regularly, possibly even a whole new stream next week, starting next week, for like a nice little 30-minute options focused, futures focused strategies. And that's a big treat for anybody here who's really into learning some of this higher level alpha shit, because it's stuff that honestly is above my head, and he's going to make me his guinea pig, and we'll all be there together for the ride. So looking forward to that. Okay, enough said. Excited for that. Coming up soon. Let's look at the Dixie. Got front run on our bearish throwback level that I've been watching, which is great news for anyone who doesn't want to see the US dollar rally. I don't really know that there's a good case for it to rally with all the money printing still going on, and the problems that led to the money printing not going away. I just don't see a big fat rally in this dollar. And so was watching this level closely, still watching this bullish throwback pretty closely. But I don't think Bitcoin gives a shit, frankly, because look what Bitcoin's doing. Just like almost pushing to new highs as we speak on this next leg up. I mean, this is massive volume to kind of stamp the breakout, and it should be, because there was massive news, and a lot of this was probably liquidated shorts buying to close their positions. So there's a lot of buying there. But if you zoom into the 15-minute, a bit of a flag forming here, and it looks like it's not even waiting. You know, it's not even going to be like, oh, what am I doing? It was like breakout, fake out, chill, 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 and then pump. Like this, it's volatile, it's tough trading. I've got some spot, but more importantly, I should discuss what I'm doing with my altcoins, because, you know, I think, for example, like Rook, I just bought some. I don't think it, because it doesn't trade directly against Bitcoin, the algos, whatever, you know, if Bitcoin does well, this is a verse USD trade for me, so I'm probably just going to hold on to it. Fundamentally, I like it. Same with PICKLE. Got some PICKLE. I think it just broke local highs today. Yep. Ooh, PICKLE. Green dildos on the PICKLE chart. Love it. I have a sizable position in PICKLE, so if I keep coming back to this chart for the next few weeks, don't mind me. One of the reasons I took the size I did is because of things like Badger, things like these DeFi plays. This breakout to me was very strong. I was buying up into this breakout, anticipating the breakout, and then when it came up and then I bought back here at 15, I really sized up. And I actually did trade it a little on the weekend. I think I sold some around 26, bought it back at like 24. Little shitty little trade, but whatever, it's a little bit. And now I'm just like, fuck it, I need to get back in. So I bought it at 24. I was going to wait for this pump tissue zone. And then I thought, you know what, I just see this being like possibly a $50 to $100 coin on like, you know, it wouldn't be too much work to get there. I mean, they suffered an exploit somewhere back here, probably this candle. And, you know, but that exploit's gone now. And if you look here at the Yearn ecosystem, this is part of my thesis as well. You know, they're in the YFI party, and YFI V2 vaults, the Yearn vaults coming up. They're going to have pickles involved in that. There's some kind of DIL launching soon. I would love to share better information with you guys about exactly what the hell that is. And I will, but I need to do a little more research myself. I was looking into it this morning, not quite there, but I was told, you know, wait for DIL. So we'll see, but look at PICKLE. Obviously doing quite well. It's not like a race to buy at $32. I don't give that kind of advice, but you know, I've been tweeting about this shit for like weeks, and so if anyone happened to see that idea and then apply it to their own trading plan and take a position, great, we're in it. But if you look at this list, this is the party that it's at, and you know, look what Hxro did the last few weeks. Look at you know, Keeper. I don't know what Keeper's been up to. But generally speaking, this is a strong list, and it's at the bottom. So to me, that's undervalued. I like it. The chart looks great. Breakout, buy, go. And then I have to just remember that the rising volume, I just have to remember to sort of, you know, keep my head on me. The sizable position. So it's going to be in quite a bit of profit. I want to stay objective so that I'm not just selling it because it's up a bit. Like I want to sell it because it looks like it topped. I want to sell it because there's exhaustion on the chart, because there's bearish market structure, whatever. This was a bit dicey on the weekend. I was like, fuck it, sell some. Oh, buy back. Made a little bit on that, but ultimately, I want to be long on PICKLE. Now, what I started off to talk about there was what I'm doing with things like Ocean. If you guys watch me on Twitter at RandomTask505, you know that I bought a sizable, quote, position in Ocean last night because I saw this chart. I did a full scan of Binance coins because it was a nice quiet Sunday afternoon. I was like, you know what? I haven't actually like scanned all the charts, and I don't want to be like a leaderboard chaser right now. I feel like there's a ton of coins that are just way up in their, you know, ranges, and that's cool. You want to chase the momentum. You want to get after eGold, Elrond. BNB, they're all breaking highs. Atom, there's some really good coins in there. Momentum trades, cool. Not really my style. What I want to find is what's going to pump next in this sort of echo rally environment. And so when I see Ocean with this kind of volume rising up, and then I see this daily chart, and it's like, whoa, boom, boom. I mean, I could arguably drag this down a little, get into more of those candle body highs, more accurate here. Okay, cool. So we drag that down a little. I think I had it here because, it still makes contact and kind of get that bullish retest. Either way, wherever you want to put this, it's a breakout. It is a significant breakout on volume. It is a pullback and defense here on volume. And when I see these kinds of formations breaking out, I just think chaos. I think measure that to that, kick it out. That's probably where all of this accumulation is going to take place. And I want to be a part of that. So here's the thing. If Bitcoin is going to do this, and when I say this, let's just zoom out and see what the hell Bitcoin is doing. I should probably just make a new chart here. We've got a break of the range, so I should probably get a nice clean look. Let's just get, obviously we had the pump chaser zone visit, which is so easy in retrospect. Bing, bing, bing. And what happened when we were down there? Everyone looking for 29, 28, 27, 25. That is kind of the nature of the market, right? You get your dip and you don't take it. A lot of people don't. I did manage to buy some back here, mostly just focusing on altcoins right now. So I'm not going to be like, I bought all the dips and I'm rich. But I definitely was trying to train myself to stay bullish here. And then, like we said on Twitter, like if it breaks through here, then it's like, okay, we got some levels coming in. But that's a very standard pullback. Guys, if you saw the thread that I put out a few weeks ago, like 31, during the bull market in 2017, the average pullback, and there were 7 of them, the top was the ultimate 7th, was about 31%. So it's actually uncanny that we got that here, and we're continuing on. This is very standard stuff. And even though it's not perfectly easy to do in the moment, where it's like, I knew this was going to happen. You never know, right? But when you look at it, that's kind of why I was like, well, I'm going to place my bets on this not being the top, because it wasn't before. 32%, 31%. Those are pretty standard pullbacks. They're very scary, very aggressive. Yep. But then you look back, and that's exactly what was happening in 2017. Could go just take a quick gander. There was a bunch of them. And each one was the same thing. If you go on social media trying to find reason, you're going to find a bunch of bears, a bunch of bulls, and you just can't really make decisions that way. But, there was one, 37%. And these were the pumps that were trying to break through the all-time highs, 38%, 34%. This is when I joined crypto, 31% the day after I got my money in. Very scary. 32%. Then you want to extend that right through the entire sort of Bcash summer. It was 41%. Right? 19. So all these basically averaged out to, and then the China banned Bitcoin was a fat one late in the year. And obviously that was after an all-time high, right? So everyone's thinking, oh, man, it's been good, but all bets are off. That's it. And the story goes on, the story goes on, the story goes on. Nobody knew where the fucking top was until it came in. And then a lot of people were placing their bets on shorting here. CME futures went live here, right? So, just a little bit of rant, a little bit of banter here on that 32% pullback. Pretty standard. I was hard-pressed to believe that was a top, expressed as such. Point is, if this is going to go on a rip-roaring rally, which I imagine it will, where's the next stop? Blah, 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 all that stuff. And then do I want to be sitting in a bag like Ocean, even though I think I can get to this target? It looks ridiculous. They always do. The Chaos PRZs, they always look so juicy, and then they hit sometimes, and you're just like, oh, there it was. This might move up there, but what is the Bitcoin pair doing? And I always tell myself, when the Bitcoin bull is back on, I'd like to be in it. When this dominance chart turns back up, when the risk on maybe shifting back into a small risk off window, takes a little time to shift though. One bounce doesn't do it. It's got to be like a bounce, a pullback, a bounce, a newer high, like this. I need full market structure to call it off. So anyways, here's what I'm doing today. And I don't know if this is the best thing. I'm not going to sit here and say this is definitely the smartest thing in the world, because I think altcoins are just going to fucking go crazy this year. I mean, look at the altcoin all-time highs. They're about to break out. So I don't want to be like, I need no altcoins. But here's how I'm playing this right this moment. It's the best I've got for today. If these, if Bitcoin's going to go on a big FU rally here, which I think it will, then a lot of these altcoins versus Bitcoin are going to go down into these reload zones. It will be weeks. It will be sad. It will be gross. PICKLE, some of these more DeFi ones that don't trade against Bitcoin, probably not. At least, I don't think so. Versus USD, they're probably going to do fine. But these ones that trade directly against Bitcoin, people will prefer to have their Bitcoin. And the narrative will be back, right? It'll be like, oh, altcoins are trash. You got scammed again. It's all about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. The maxis start coming in. They're super loud, right? And all of that will amount to something like, and it'll just be a reload zone. And it's just going to be like, oh, Bitcoin took over the world. Altcoins aren't cool anymore. And I would like to be loading up here, not sitting there saying, well, I'm up in USD and then having this, right? And you just watch your Bitcoin balance get wiped away during that. That's it. That's how I play, how I play the ebb and flow between altcoins and Bitcoin. This has been a good run. I've talked about it many times before. Now, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I think it will. So if we lose the lows caused by this morning's shock, all the altcoin charts this morning, when Bitcoin broke out, they did something like this, and there was this nasty little wick, some bigger than others. If we lose that low, I want out. And I want back into Bitcoin. I want to be long and strong on the corn, because that is going to enable me to load up next time these things are showing bullish market structure. Right now, arguably up here, a little bit toppy, and that's totally normal given what we're seeing in Bitcoin. I mean, this thing is on steroids. Like, we don't know where the next one will be. If you just take this consolidation and kick out a chaos PRZ, we're up here at 91. If I take, let's say, I could say this is the last real base. So what's our fib extension look like? Those have been doing really well during this uptrend. Where does our extension target take us, right? 57. If Bitcoin gets up here, which seems inevitable to some degree, straight line, zigzag, whatever it's going to be. If it does just get into this rip face rally continuation, most of these coins are going to wash out. They're going to take all that sort of shaky-handed new money that just poured into them at the highs, and it's going to squeeze them. And the narrative will shift. And, Bitcoin dominance, who knows what level it'll retest, Maybe it comes up here, maybe it flips this. Oh. Maybe it, whatever, comes up, flips the trend line, gets up here. Maybe it's just a big bearish retest, and then it's more. Like, I don't know. So the point is, even though I love Ocean on that USDT chart, I'm going to jump out of it along. So I have stop losses on a few bags. And at this point, I feel like they're going to get hit. I'm almost half like, why don't I just sell them now? But, levels are levels. This morning was a shocker candle. So breaking that low to me is a validation of this idea. The other way to look at this, because I really am super bullish on altcoins, and I think the best ROI is with them. But again, Bitcoin breakout does shift, changing the guards a little bit. So I have to be aware of that. I don't want to be somebody who's like, yeah, I'm just going to hold through because we're super bullish. And then, when we get into these reload zones, I'm just so butthurt because I've just watched 50% of my Bitcoin balance disappear. And I'm not now like a bull, and I'm not buying. I want to be out when the trend changes. But for now, what do we have? We have a huge nasty dump, a bounce, and a drop into the reload zone. So I'm not selling here. I'm not calling, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to do that here. But if we lose this low, I'm comfortably out. And the worst, and this is the most uncomfortable part of this, is that we're probably, it's something like this, and then it's like, whoa, and then it makes you think you got fucking shaken out. And I have to be really strong not to FOMO back in, because a break of this low, to me, and Bitcoin keeps going higher, is confirmation that we're probably just going to, get into those reload zones down in here, which again, totally normal, right? I've been talking about that since the bottom. And I said, this is not likely going to be, well, let me find a better example, but it's not likely that a bottom comes in and then it's just like, big, long accumulation range bottoms. It's a little more flowy, right? And then when everyone's lost their lunch and they're sick of this shit, then it's like you get the big party. So what does that look like? When does that party come? All that stuff. Who knows? It's tough to call. But if we lose these lows, I'm comfortable getting back into my Bitcoin and just kind of riding it. I mean, I don't think, like, I'm so much into altcoins more because of the ROI, right? What's a 2x in Bitcoin? It's not as sexy. In that time, some altcoins made like 5 or 10x. But anyways, that's how I'm playing it. What are you guys doing? Let's go and check the old chat. Look at Flash, please. Yeah, we'll take a look at Flash. Rex Tallboy, sorry for that delay. Long little rant today. Interesting to see your thoughts on the chart, dude. Appreciate it. Fairly met volume on the major all-time high breakout with 2 hours to go for daily close. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is just what I'm thinking. It's been a crazy day. I do need to continue my analysis. Algo went beast mode today. Damn, yeah. Massive head and shoulders on dominance. Would line up with this BTC run and another strong Q2 summer for alts. Yep, let's take a look at that. I like that kind of thinking. And, and so let's just be clear about that, guys. I'm not sitting here like altcoin party's over and I'm out. I love altcoins. They're my main jam. You guys know this. But like I say, if they're about to get a squeeze and I can spot that, and I know that the reload zone is where I want to be getting long, then I need to have Bitcoin when we get down there. So I need to sell some up here. Most are in profit. Ocean, obviously not, because I just bought it yesterday. I think it's up versus USD, down versus Bitcoin. What am I looking at? BTCD. Let's take a look at the weekly on BTC Dom. So, yeah, you're thinking like massive head and shoulders here on dominance, where you get sort of the 1, the 2. Yeah, we squeeze back up, right? All coins get shaken out. They go to the reload zones. We get that. And then it's just like another. That's honestly what I think is happening. If I had to be a betting man, which I sort of am, that's probably my best guess for what's going to come next as far as predictions go. And that would be great because it would shake out a lot of, quote unquote, weak hands. I guess myself included, if you want to say stop loss here is a weak hand, but it would clean up the chart. I mean, God, I am way more comfortable getting long from a reload zone down here than I am buying some of these highs that we're seeing. I hate buying highs. Even when it works out, I'm like, that was uncomfortable. ROI wasn't great. So if this is going to shit out here, that's fucking awesome. What an opportunity, right? If we play it properly. Get in here, and then it's just like, wow, and that's, and no, like down here, try telling your buddies to buy some ocean down here. They're going to call you stupid. They say, no, man, they're going to new lows. Bitcoin's a new thing. They might still, but I'll be buying those reload zones. So good news is the majority of what I've got is sitting in things like PICKLE, Nord, Insured Finance, KeeperDAO, YOP. And those guys don't really trade against Bitcoin. So they're kind of enjoying this day. Let's go see, Rook is one that I mentioned earlier that I picked up a little. Oh, it's shooting up today. That's nice. Nice to see. YOP, right? And there's something very serene about just trading assets that don't trade versus Bitcoin because they don't really give a shit. As long as it's bullish for everything. I mean, look at this chart though, guys. If you can't see this, let me draw it up for you. I look at this chart and I see what I'm about to draw without having to draw it. And that's part of getting, a little more regular with the drawings. But I just look at this. I see bullish market structure and a retest. It's so juicy. I mean, if this is the level, right? And then, nobody's talking about it during that level. But they'll be talking about it if, I say that facetiously, I think it's more of a when, but if and when this starts going, they'll be like, oh, and then you look back, you're like, what a fucking buying opportunity. So that kind of passed. It was on Saturday and Friday. YOP coming into the station saying, pick me up, guys. I'm here. If you were late, now's the time. And, yield optimization platform. app for your phone. I'm bullish on Yop. You guys know that. So this is a little lesser known DeFi coin that is just an app that I actually really want to use. Okay, guys, let me check the trading view chat. Sorry, a lot of activity over there. TRX, yes, not allowed to join the trading pit. It won't allow me. That's weird. I am an admin. I can help you out with that. Limp Bizkit. Ooh, did you know Limp Bizkit was my my first concert I ever went to when I was 12? Found out what weed smelled like that night. Wu-Tang Clan was there too, and they got held up at the border for 3 hours. Fucking delayed the whole concert because a lot of them had heavy rap sheets, and I'm not talking about the music. Let's go see what my Telegram handle is. At random task, go figure. Capital R, capital T. So Limp Bizkit 2, if you want to hit me up on Telegram, I can help sort you out, get you back into the trading pit. Looks like you might have got kicked out by the bot. The butler definitely is a little trigger happy sometimes. Okay, all good. You're making a lot of sense, right? With altcoins versus BTC, the only reason to own them is to book profits and buy Bitcoin with them. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, there's some altcoins that I'm like, yo, like I want to use this app. Like I hold DexT. I don't even track it anymore because I want full access to DEX tools, and I need to have 20,000 DexT tokens to do that. So that's a use case. You know, I don't care about what that gains me. I'm holding them because I need access to that. And that's probably the best kind of altcoins to speculate on too. The ones that people aren't just holding to make money, make Bitcoin. Still in ETH, what do you think? Yeah, I mean, look, ETH looks so bullish. Apple, Cream, Oracle announcing they're buying it. Yeah. Yep. Nope. The world incense is making a lot of sense right now over on TradingView. Basically saying, I hate buying the highs, but can you imagine where BTC goes if Apple and Oracle and some other big companies start buying it? Yeah, man, I think Bitcoin's going way up. I really do. And I think it's going to blow people's minds. You know, I think even the bulls are like, oh yeah, 50K, 30K, 40K, 100K. Let's do something for fun here. This is not like I'm saying go buy it, but let's take a look at this log chart. What would, from bottom to top, the last bull market fib extension be? Let's just do it for fun. Like that's sort of what I think for this cycle makes sense. Just purely on a technical level and frankly on a fundamental level too. That's a $335,000 Bitcoin. That's not moon boy talk. That's just what the chart says. Will we get it? I don't know. Does it look good? Yup. Looks real good. So what will your altcoin be worth if Bitcoin gets there? Well, probably a lot more in USD terms, but what will it be worth versus Bitcoin? Will it outperform? Will it outpace? I don't know. But I know that Tesla didn't buy Doge. So I will flip-flop as much as the market gives me information to do so. And I always say that, right? So if this starts to turn up, I'm back to Bitcoin. So here's the exciting part about this thinking. For those of you who are maybe unconvinced or unsure or a little nervous, like myself, I'm always nervous if I'm thinking about a position getting stopped out at a 382. I mean, that's my zone. That's my pump chaser zone, right? How the hell am I going to be cutting my ocean bag, which I'm very bullish on, here? It's very uncomfortable. But here's why I might do it if that level hits. And it's kind of a two-pronged thing. Because I am obviously most bullish on assets that I think are going up when they're in the reload zone, right? And let's just label this reload zone. That's where I like to buy shit. And when shit gets there, most people don't want to buy it. They want to sell it. They want to hold it. They're unsure. Looks like it's going to the lows. And weirdly enough, bullish divergences come in, buying volume comes in, and then eventually it breaks out. Most often. So yeah, obviously, if I do end up cutting here below this wick from this morning, I'm going to feel really uncomfortable for a few days because it might even bounce into like a short reload zone before finally coming in, or it might leave me behind completely. I have to accept that. But there's two reasons that it could really benefit. First of all, getting into this reload zone, huge win. I'm riding the Bitcoin bull while it's shooting up in value. I'm not losing any of that to a dilution by this thing coming down. Really nice. So I'm full throttle on the bull, which is great. If it gets to this reload zone and it shows signs of divergence, making that lower low, and the MACD makes a higher low, and I get all those signs and I get a new setup, I am now getting in from a position of real strength. Love that. But here's the sort of nuclear option. What if Bitcoin does that crazy shit and it really gets up into these crazy levels, like just absolute insanity, right? Apple, Oracle, Google, Facebook, Netflix, they're all buying billions of Bitcoin. Like, what if it happens? It might. Seems likely at some point some of them will. And if that happens, and all of these coins are down here trying to put in the setup that I'm looking for, but then that happens and Bitcoin shoots to whatever, 100K, 120K, and then these things just really fucking crap out. I don't want to find that out here. Right? Fuck that. I don't want to make a decision to finally cut my bag and go back to Bitcoin down here. That's way too far. So I have to risk and be uncomfortable with this, to make sure that I avoid this. Call that fear-based trading, whatever you want. But I think Bitcoin breaking out to new highs is something I've been watching for and waiting for. And I told myself I will trade altcoins in this range. And when Bitcoin breaks out to new highs, I will move back into Bitcoin. So, yes, that's my strategy as best laid out as I possibly can. Now, Rob over on TradingView makes a point. He says, does that mean to trade the alts in USD terms rather than with your BTC? So, and that's the tricky part for me, is because I actually moved from a bag of Tether that I had into Ocean. So do I even have to pay attention to all that noise? Can't I just enjoy this going up versus USDT to some degree and screw what it does on Bitcoin? Yep, I could. Very tempting because this chart just looks so good. I mean, look at this rising volume, ping, 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 breakout, retest. Like, it's tough, guys. I don't have a perfect answer. I really just want to be long Ocean. But for all the reasons I just said, I may sell it to Bitcoin simply because I think it'll outpace. And the worst part is when I'm finally ready to get back into Ocean versus USDT, it'll probably be, maybe it's up here. And I'm essentially buying it back higher versus USD, but lower, hopefully, versus Bitcoin. So I don't know. Is there even a win in there? Am I overthinking this? I don't know, but that's how I trade. When Bitcoin parties, I like to be with it because it is certainly the biggest mover in the market size-wise, not ROI-wise. So I will always be an altcoin fanboy. But we'll see. We'll see. It's not as easy. And I think there's a really good case someday this year for altcoins to just rally right along with Bitcoin. So there's that. There is that also. But we'll see. I'm going to be getting a lot of alerts here in a minute if Bitcoin keeps pushing. And it is pushing right now. So you guys might actually watch it happen live. Altcoins changing over to Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the chat. BitTorrent. Okay, Marcin. Yeah, that's spam. We're going to go ahead and delete that from the chat. Remove. Report. Child abuse. Hate speech. Harassment. I don't know. What do we want that? Unwanted commercial content or spam. Okay, get out of here, Marcin. Did you get him? Yeah, no, let's give him a boot. We don't need all that shit. I mean, I'll take a look at BitTorrent if you want, but don't go pumping spam into the room. That's whack, dude. All right, imagine the gas fees. Yeah, Apple are more likely to release the iCoin, which mines on your iPhone. That'd be kind of dope. Might buy that on my iPhone. What about these altcoins versus ETH? Yeah, that's another conversation to have entirely. We could look at that. I do have an ETH dominance chart. Holy shit, guys. Bitcoin It's taking 0 prisoners today. Just double check a position I have. I don't know if there's a stop loss on this one. Yeah, probably is not. Oof, oof, oof. Is Bitcoin going crazy right now? Break to new highs already? Yeah, holy shit. It's at the 88.6, guys. This is the final stop. Would never want to step in and short here, but probably some people will. Right up at that little short reload zone. Not my cup of tea, but I don't drink much tea, so there you go. Tea's actually great, though. I should drink more. It's calming and full of caffeine, depending which kind. Okay, let's take a look back here at the chat. Side thoughts. Thoughts on non-crypto? Yeah. Bought a whole bunch of little shit stocks today, and I call them shit stocks because they're like venture cap. You know, this is all just basically copy trading off some of the guys I know over at TRI. So, but you know, VCIM, venture cap investment model. It's a setup that we're just basically buying out super low, bottomed out venture cap stocks, picking them up in locations like this, selling halves on doubles. As you can see, I've already got orders working, sold half and double, sold half and double. And I don't really look at stocks. So it's easy for me to set that position, set those alerts, and set those sell orders, and basically just fuck off and go back to crypto. And this is a really nice one. Sky Gold Corp. It's a Toronto Stock Exchange. You know, another one. Picked up some of that. Picked up some of this. These are poopers, though, guys. Like, this is venture cap stuff, you know. Half a cent down and you're down 7%. Like, these are not buy recommendations. Holy MGI. Funny story. I don't think I bought this one today. I think this is one of the ones I skipped on out of this list. Oops. Classic. But I did pick up some XTM. So see how that ages. But, you know, these are the kind of bottoms, and then it's like whatever. When it hits here, someday, 6 months, 4 months, 2 months, next week, it'll sell half my position on the double. I'll get my money back. We'll do it again. This is one I picked up last week. So, you know, these are all little stock picks. This is like a Chinese company that makes mining equipment, apparently, for Bitcoin miners. So when I see that kind of W and reload zone and buy volume coming in, I just think, okay, I can pick some up here and I'll sell half here and I'll sell half here and then, or well, I'll sell half up here on the double. And then I have a free position and whatever the hell that does. APOP, same kind of thing, right? Bottomy formation. These kinds of like little shit coins of the stock world. Probably not what you meant though, about the thoughts on non-crypto, but that, for what it's worth, that's how I trade stocks for the most part, just buy the little poopers. Flip them for doubles. Holy shit, S&P's moving higher today. That's impressive. Yep, everything's just looking bullish, kind of same old. I'm not a stock guy, guys, so don't come here necessarily looking for too much insight on why these things are making new highs. I would imagine it's because the Dixie is making lows. That's all I got. You know, breaking down. Dollar go weaker, everything versus the dollar goes stronger. That'd be funny if this like short trade came in live that I said I'm not taking. But this is when I would look for shorts if I was into shorting things that are bullish, but I'm not. So I won't. But generally on a pure technical level, that's just where I would wait to enter a short. And look, I mean, that's why you get the stop there, right? I think this will probably get blasted, looks like. But for now, a lot of people are making a stand here trying to short that. Short reload zone. That's why we call it that. I wouldn't personally. Not interested in shorting Bitcoin. Not yet. Let's see. You know, this is the CME futures on Ethereum. You know, it's just been one day. Maybe they do decide. You know, maybe there was some initial FOMO, and then now it's like, haha, tricked you. We're gonna short it. I don't know. Probably not. Ocean tickling the twine here. Let's see what it is on the 15-minute. Yeah, it's getting really close. So what coins do you guys want to see? Let's get into the requests. It's 5 o'clock. We started a little past the hour, but let's get into a few requests here, guys. We'll look at some charts. You know, my 2 cents is basically as I've outlined. This is just a spike up in dominance for now, just a dip. Ultimately, on a downtrend like this, I would say, those kinds of dips are for buying versus Bitcoin, pump chaser zones, all that stuff. The one reason I'm a little different right now with the tune that I'm playing is because this is a big breakout. This is not like here where there's like, oh, buy the dip. And like, this is new highs. It's new highs on a massive news event. So careful assuming that today's dip versus BTC is the bottom of something. I think it could be a trend shift, a midterm trend shift. And then we go back to the whole rant that I had before about, if this is a midterm trend shift, then you hear there's your uptrend. We shifted. We're going to trend down for a bit. And then, we'll go from there. So if it's that, I need to be on side with that. Having said that, let's go look at some altcoins, because that's what most of us are holding. Let's be honest. Serum is a sexy bag. I've got some. It's really strong. Now, let me know, guys, if you want to look versus USD or versus Bitcoin. I think we're all here in most ways, like to make some fiat currency, as much as we like to hate on it. It makes sense to accumulate the underlying USD. But if you're here to make some sats and you want to see it versus Bitcoin, let me know. Because the charts are going to look very different, right? Versus Bitcoin, a lot of these charts maybe looking a little ominous right now. Just a bullish throwback for most of them. That's why I'm not selling yet. Pretty standard. The sexiest thing in the world that could happen, and this is why I do have a lot of discomfort around this plan of mine, cutting bags at the lows from this morning, is that the sexiest thing in the world that can happen to crypto is when altcoins rally with Bitcoin. And if I missed that party because I was trying to like get down into here, into this reload zone, and I missed this, very uncomfortable, guys. Trading is like being paid for being uncomfortable. So we'll see. I'm not, the other thing is I'm pretty good at buying back higher, which sounds dumb, but it's like, okay, you're wrong. This was just a little wicky, sticky, and then, like I'm pretty good about being like, okay, I'm wrong, and I'll get back in at some level and still catch the meat of the move. A lot of people can't do that, They get out here and then they say, oh man, I'm not buying back more expensive. I'll wait till it dips. Like if I'm wrong, and I'm ultimately very bullish on Serum, I'll buy it back. I mean, ultimately, gosh, this chart just looks so good. Maybe I am overthinking it. We'll find out. Stay tuned all week. I'll be here, 3 p.m. Great point. Thinking of converting Badger profits into DIG. Big volume on big spike for Algo USD pair. Could be spicy. Yeah, Algo looks so delicious. Algo is one that I've been trading a lot. Holding some still. Looks so good. And, get out to the weekly. And this thing just looks like a crazy. Look at the crazy. I mean, this, for my... I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to hold some Bitcoin, but there's definitely some altcoins that I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care what they do versus Bitcoin. Like USD pairs just look so good. It's a bit of a new paradigm. Maybe just talk myself into not just going full maxi on this rally up. We'll see. But look at the chaos PRZ on these things, man. I mean, this is versus USDT. I have every intention of being in my algo bag when that hits. I don't want to be out before that. This is alt season, guys. What we've seen so far is altcoins not being dead. Alt season, 10x, 1 day, all over the place. 100x, 1 month, all over the place. I don't think we've seen that yet. I don't think this is overextended. So, God, for all my rants about reload zones and stuff, things like algo, not on my sell list. Yeah, appreciate that. Letting Brisket know. Portfolio allocation, what do you think? Not sure what you meant there, Silver Surfer. You can clarify what you mean by portfolio allocation question mark. Dogecoin, okay. Sure, somebody here is trading Doge. Let's take a look. Oh my God. Like, good goodness, sir. Good gracious, I say. Yeah, what a grind up. This is interesting. Big pump, and a slow grind up. I mean, it feels like Elon Musk has made it his business to make sure this thing hits $1. I don't know. I don't trade it. We've talked about this before because I don't have much conviction in the underlying. It's fun as hell, and I'm a big, boring boomer, I guess, but probably should have traded it because I had it playing a lot of my own levels, and I even looked at them on those levels and went, I bet that's going to pump. And then never really got around to it. So right now it's kind of like up at the highs, short reload zone, you know. But if it breaks out, is that price discovery all time? Yeah, I think so versus USD. I'm not actually a big Doge connoisseur. I know a lot of OGs in the space just are like, yeah, you know, I always buy Doge below 28 sats because it always pumps. And then they're wrong until they're not, and they never have been yet. So it's kind of cool. Looks primed, guys. I'm not going to lie. It looks primed for new highs, but this is not a location that I buy things, personally. I don't start to get bullish when it gets to here. Reload zones. That would have been my play, but I'm not a Doge trader. But as it is, standard stuff, right? Look at that. I mean, just like even the daily, they just brought it up and closed it politely above the 786. I mean, this stuff is just crazy, guys. If you ever want to be patient and apply some very minimal TA, get a fib out, put this zone on it, and play with it. And when you're feeling the FOMO, just draw it up. Reload zones, pump chaser zones. There's the settings. And you can save it. If you use TradingView, you can save the templates. I got a whole bunch. Pump chaser zone is more of the season right now, probably. But we'll see. Please and thank you. Let's see what that is about. Oh, NU. Yeah. GRT. Okay. BTC strategies. Let's take a look at NU USD. Not sure what this coin does, but I know it just pumped because I kept hearing about it. And look at that. Holy shit. If only there was 1 million hours in a day, I would know all of these coins. Let's take a look. Ooh, I have a feeling this chaos level is pretty close by. Bing. Yeah, we're right at it. Just about. So, yeah, I mean, it just looks bullish. I don't know what this coin does. It's in a undoubted bull trend at the moment, right up into this fib extension area. Go figure. That's where your wick ended. A lot of people looking to sell those kinds of levels. For now, it's like flagging. So leg 2, question mark. Tis the season. This is versus USD. Not really a pennant to speak of for those of you who like bull flags and pennants. I mean, there's a bit of one here, which has already slowly leaked out the end. No real pump out of it, but that's pretty bullish. Little flag. We'll breakout retest, continue slow. Looks good, guys. NU looks good. And, you know, for what it's worth, there are continuation trades. I won't get into it now, but there's the bot trade. The bot setup. I don't even know if I have my full bots fibs, but it's basically like this. Yeah, I think I'm missing one. Yeah, it's too bad. God, I should set that up. But it's basically like 25, 50, 75, 50, 25, 75, reverse. It's all this stuff. Should usually have it saved. Yeah, and then, you know, you wait for 3 higher lows, which we kind of had, and then if price breaks above this level, then the setup is like this. I'm just doing this super quick and dirty. So if anyone's watching me that knows the bot setup, don't shame me. It's usually about a 3-to-1, and then you just treat it like that. It's kind of a B, C, D harmonic continuation trade. It's a pretty robotic trade. I like it. So it's kind of setting up on this one. Something like that. And this pennant has nothing to do with it, so don't get confused by that. So that's kind of a bot continuation trade. I think you can even Google that. Bullish bot, bullish BOT. There should be an image on it that has a description. I think I found it on Google once. A little bit advanced, but yeah, ABCD continuation. There's a few rules, right? Wait till the 25 to cross before you long it. Risk down to here. If it hits the 0.5, you move your stop loss to break even. If it hits the 0.75, you move your stop loss to trailing. If it hits here, you close the whole goddamn thing. Risk repeat. Rinse repeat. I think it's like a 60% strike rate, maybe a little lower, depending when you apply it, what market state and all that. And you can do them on the bearish side too. Bearish bot. Anyways. With the theme song, thank you. We researched the bullish bot. Yeah, check it out, guys. I mean, it's free information, apparently. I learned it at TRI, therationalinvestor.com. I will give them credit where credit's due. Those guys are the best. Love them. Hang out there a lot of my days on the side screen here. Got them right there. And Brian Beamish taught that setup to me. But I do believe it's available on Google. So sorry, Brian. It's there. Good old internet. Can't hold it in. Cake. I keep hearing about Cake. It's like on Binance Chain, right? Which, look, let's talk about Binance Chain. ETH is slow. It is expensive. It is struggling mightily. Right now, gas is about 169. It's actually low right now compared to what it's been. It was like 400 earlier today. So you're looking at $100, $200 US per transaction. If you want to pull out of a smart contract from staking, good luck. Just to withdraw my Badger this morning, it would have cost me over $400. So unless you're pulling out $30,000 worth of Badger, good luck ever claiming that. That's not a knock on Badger. They're smart contracts. You stake your Badger, turn it into a set, and then you got to stake the set. So it's like 4 transactions all told to get it in and get it out. Point is, maybe Binance Smart Chain has an edge here as far as like taking some of that traffic now. There's going to be a lot of competition as far as, and look at this. I mean, all told in the past, but like, bing, pulls back a bit. Don't tell me the chaos levels aren't real. Bing, pulls back a bit. They're nice general guidelines. Cake's doing some things. It's going ham. Holy shit, though. Hard to say. I mean, you can draw little chaos levels from these consolidations and say, oh, where's the next leg going? Is it going to go to $6? Possible. Again, I struggle to buy anything that's up here, but maybe you're just already in it and you're thinking, I'd like to know where I should maybe pay myself. It's really tough, guys, in a year like this if you don't have a clear plan. I'm an investor. I'm a trader, right? You got to know. You got to know what you want. You got to know when you close a position that you're a trader and you're just taking money and you're going to go roll it into something else. If you then decide, well, I should have been an investor, and then you're going to spend the rest of the year looking back. This is on OKX, but it's Badger. Probably should just look at it on here. You got to know who you are, because you'll drive yourself insane if you flip-flop between investor and trader. And I'll give you an example of that. I'm a trader. I have some investments in here where I'm like, yeah, I'm holding that a little longer. I'm not really worried about take profit, stop loss, and all that. Mostly like pre-sale stuff and whatever. But let me give you an example. Where would be a good example? What coin? AVAX. This one I'm kicking myself for. Even as a trader, because it was like probably not the greatest place to close the trade. But look at this thing. Now, I was watching this, as you can see, through this downtrending channel. And when it broke out, it was like $3.30 on this throwback, and I bought it. I'm a champ, right? Something happened in here, and I have no idea what it was. It was like the new year. I don't know. Maybe I just had too many altcoins, reset the portfolio, whatever it was, and I closed it in profit, but I closed it. And, I knew. Little birdie on my shoulder said, yo, like, keep an eye on AVAX for 2021. It's going to be huge. Like, look at this fucking thing. But as a trader, I'm just like, I wasn't investing in it. It was a trade. I'm not going to fall in love. That was a sick trade. No doubt about it. If I had held that, it would have been a great trade. It was already a decent trade, made whatever, $1,000 or something. But fuck, man, but I'm not an investor. If I was, I would have been loading through here, maybe just buy the breakout, whatever, and then just not look at it. So the only question I can ask myself is, did I follow my trading plan? And I don't know that I did. I think I just did. It must have been a cleanup of a portfolio, because looking at this objectively, it's not like, oh no, it's at the top. Like, I just wouldn't have done that. So I think it was just like a blind, like, wipe everything, reset, get myself positioned a little more, a little more clarity. And I do that sometimes. And when I'm doing that, it's a lot easier to cut the positions that are in little profits, because you're just like, oh, I just made money as well. So AVAX is strong. It's very strong. All that to say, oh, repeat about the fib colors. Yeah. Let's go take a look at that. So look, if you guys want, because this is like a replayable thing, right? You can screen cap this. Actually, I have the picture somewhere. Should just pull it up, guys. Give me a sec. Crypto content. Nope. Hxro. Where's my Hxro content? There it is. Okay, guys. Coming at ya. Bing. All right, so here are the settings and the colors. You guys want to get pink, green, and purple? Be my guest. These are fun colors. I like them. They breathe life and positive vibes into my charts. And those are the color hex codes. So if you're on like TradingView and you want to have a custom color, you go down here, you click add, and you just type in that code here and you get the exact color. It's kind of cool. TradingView will save those. So you can always go back, pause this video, check out these settings. That's just for those, the fib retracement and extension. And if you want the chaos, it's a little trickier to use, but it's fun as hell, and you can always start today trying to learn it. The settings are just 4669 and 877 with the reverse clicked. And I put my numbers on the left because I like to extend on the right like this with a little green dotted line to give myself a little heads up. Let's look. Okay, fuck it. We're on AVAX. Let's look where it's going. It has already achieved chaos level numero uno from the latest consolidation. I have a feeling it is already well beyond the fib extension. And this is where trading is like, oh, great, I hit my targets. But is that, as an investor, is this thing at value yet? Is it still undervalued? Does it have room in the tank? Probably. Obviously, right? It's still going up. But as a trader, I wouldn't really worry about that. I'd be like, look at that. I'm trading this continuation. There was my take profit. I made money. Rinse, repeat. On to the next asset. I don't care what asset it is, and I don't worry about where it goes after I exit. That's generally the mantra with trading. Date it, don't marry it. The one way to escape that is to sell halves on doubles and kind of always keep yourself with a little skin in the game. So I did that with Badger. I sold some in this. I think it was like 68 on the way up, actually. And then it went a little higher, and then it came lower, and I felt like a champ, and it was like, whatever. But I sold half my Badger in there that I picked up here around 14 bucks. And I'm going to keep the other half staked. It's like it's kind of off the radar. It's a free position now. I have no real risk on the table. New risk anyways, or base risk, whatever. Cost basis. And now Badger can do whatever the hell it wants. It can go to 200 bucks, and I won't look at the part I sold. I'll just look at what I have left and be like, hey, skin in the game. Maybe I'll sell another half up at whatever, if it gets to 160. Hope that makes sense. So many ways to skin the cat, guys. HTR. Okay, we're going to get a little more heavy into the requests here. I know I like to get a little ranty, share as much as I can with you guys when it comes into my head. So I'm sure nobody minds that, but it does slow down the request volume. Hathor, Tether. Is this the one you're talking about? B2 wins? I'm not one to write off a coin just because I've never heard of it. I've done that before. It doesn't usually age well. Curious why you're bullish on this one. It's definitely unpumped. And there will be a season where anything unpumped becomes a thing, but maybe share a few words on why fundamentally you like the project. Like, it's in my zone. Can't hate on that. Look at that. Good chance looking back in 3 weeks or a month, this thing's just like, remember that reload zone and we looked at HTR on the stream? Well, that was a spot. It's on Qcoin. Where else is it trading? Just KuCoin, whatever you want to call it. That's a pretty hot spot, dude. Can't lie. Love the location. Love it. RLZ within an RLZ. So probably a nice little accumulation range here on Hathor. Certainly, you know, like then looking at AVAX, I'm like, well, no, I don't buy that. But if I had money on KuCoin and I was looking to buy something, this one would be in my wheelhouse. MAHA. Yeah, let's take a look at MAHA DAO. I was very fortunate to be granted a slot in the MAHA DAO presale. We're pretty bullish on it. In general, it's served us very well for the initial releases. I think they're like weekly or monthly. No, monthly releases of MAHA for like the next 10 weeks for coins. And yeah, okay, so look, okay. Let's look at this. So this is set up. I actually forget where I highlighted it. Might have been, oh, this is the manual one. Yeah, it's too bad. ChartX Pro does not have the templates that I like. So let's take a look, guys. MAHA DAO is doing something really spectacular right now, and you may not notice it yet, but watch what I'm going to show you. So you've got the pump, the continuation. Then you've got the market structure fail. Bing, and it drops, and it drops, and it drops. Okay, now we're consolidating. We're at the reload zone. Nice. When is it going to reverse? Well, bullish market structure. Not the most promising volume. Like generally here coming out of that, you'd want to see buy volume exceeding sell volume, but actually right here you can see the sell volume still managed to exceed. So that's not great, but it's good. And then here you have, after that bullish market structure breakout, what do I always say, right? After this, get into those reload zones and start hunting. And we're in it. So as far as like being a trader goes and just robotically taking all my setups as they come in and then just letting, you know, the win rate be the win rate and not trying to control the future, this is probably a trade that I'm taking. On that note, I don't have any MAHA, so, but I might go get some, because I mean, all things considered, this is the setup, and you've even got, you know, the third piece of the puzzle. So there's three things I look for in a trade when I'm taking this kind of setup. I need location, which in this case is the reload zone, or in this case, that reload zone. Yep. Okay. I need divergence, bullish divergence. That is higher lows on the MACD as price is making lower lows, suggesting the momentum is about to shift. And finally, I need the momentum to show me it's shifting. Bing, breakout, sold. So this is where this setup triggers, and this is where the entry comes in. So we've got all the makings here for a nice little long setup. Does not mean it will hit. I'd say mine like this hit 40 to 60% of the time. Like it's always right in that 50-50 zone. Probably closer to 60. I'm being a little facetious there with the 40, but I like to lower the bar, so we always go over it. But no, generally speaking, this is like over 50% hit rate. And it only works if you manage risk. And I'll tell you what that means. So if I want to get long on this, I need, and this is the tough thing with Uniswap, I guess I could find a stop loss protocol. I'm sure there's a few. I need to get the fuck out. And that's a 27% drawdown. But if this low is lost, this is an invalid setup. It is just more chop or more downside. Who knows? And then if I'm going to risk that much, 3-to-1, I need to at least get paid 3 times that. Because what good is it if I win this setup, just say perfectly 50% of the time? So half the time I'm going to lose this, half the time I'm going to see this target hit. If I am here, 50%, right? So I'm winning 50% of the time, I'm losing 50% of the time. And when I lose $1. And when I win $1. Well, then I'm basically break even minus the fees and a waste of time. Basically losing. But if I win 3 times as much every time I win versus the times I lose, then that 50% hit rate is profitable. And that is where this tool comes in, for those of you who don't already use it. Measuring the risk per the reward ratio, RR. RRRRR. So keep that in mind. I need, and in that sense, and this is a mistake that I often sometimes make, used to make a lot more. I'd get up here, and in some cases something would shift, and I'd start paying myself here. And I would tell myself, well, it's okay because it's profit. It's like, well, no, because you had $1 at risk there, and you settled for $2.50. Unacceptable. I need to be setting up so that I'm getting $3 for every dollar of risk that I take. Otherwise, long term, all these watered down wins will eventually get beaten to shit by these full size losses. So careful closing positions early when you're having a very like robotic type setup. You fuck up your data too. It's no fun. So keep that in mind. So that's MAHA, man. I'm glad you guys asked, because I did think it was a tweet on the weekend or just a chart I made and talked to myself about. But point is, it looks good. I mean, this breakout is strong from this consolidation, and now it's retesting that level. So probably a great time for me to go and look at putting some risk on the table. Yeah. Let's go take a look. I have a suspicion that Sundial and NOSA are speculative value, or trading on speculative value more than fundamental analysis. Would you mind lending a fresh, unbiased perspective on it? Last request for tonight. Thank you again for your time and consideration. BTC strategies. Love it. Okay. So you're asking me to kind of give you some fresh eyes on those two stocks, trading on speculative value more than fundamental analysis. The problem is, I'm not a good fundamentals guy. That I don't even remember the website. I think I have a bookmark somewhere where you can look up PE ratios and earnings and outstanding shares and all that. So I don't know that I can lend much to that conversation. What I can do is very quickly pull up those stock charts. We're generally a crypto squad here. But, this is like my kind of trade. These are the stocks I love. Nice little shitters off the bottom, showing volume. Sundial growers. Is this a weed? Is this a weed? Is this the weed? This is the marijuana. I like the weed stocks. Probably looking for this gap up here, to be honest. If I was like trying to pay myself on this thing, if that's what you're asking. But is it fib extension confluence? Yep. So there you go. There's a target that many people will be watching. And technically the gap fill happens at the top of the gap. So, getting up into the middle of that fib extension, that's a great trade. Paying myself there makes a lot of sense if I'm trading this. Because a lot of people will. Once that gap's filled, there's a little inefficiency. That's usually a really good target for people. This will put a roadblock on price, and then it may come down a bit and go back. Like, who knows after that? But expect a roadblock at 240. I couldn't tell you how that aligns with fundamentals or speculations, but that's a pretty clean and easy and obvious spot to be looking to pay oneself. Planetary Tech. Let's go see. Yeah, it's trending up. Not a whole lot to say about this. Just a nice little uptrend, bullish throwback. Nice buy volume into the last highs. Not new highs on volume, but it's there. So this is an uptrend, and I wouldn't want to be staying in it, anticipating a further trend. If I kind of missed the pump chaser zone there off that level, so maybe it's more of a reload zone type thing. But I wouldn't want to stay in this if it lost this level personally. I'd probably be like, okay, cool, bullish throwback. Oh, no continuation. Okay, looks heavy. And you're speculating basically that it's on, speculation more than, It is related to weed stocks, the miracle grow of pot stocks. I think I heard someone say, oh, cool. Well, I don't know. I think I'll put this on my short list because, I have a hard time buying right here, but maybe I can find a pullback or something. Stocks I don't trade very actively, so if I buy some of that, I don't need it to do well this month or this quarter. I can usually just look at it a long time later, so we'll see. But thanks, man. Yeah. Love a good stock idea. And like this in general, that's like bottom of the floor range. So Yeah, if I can find pullbacks in there. Again, all I need, as ever, is to be able to find 100% gain somewhere. So if I can trade that space, it's a little high up for this gap fill. So maybe a little pullback, maybe I'm interested. But if I can just find 100% move, then I have a free position forever, right? Buy 1,000 shares, sell 500 up here. Now I have 500 shares and I didn't pay a fucking dollar for them. And then I can just hold it. Start doing that to 100 different stocks and see where you're at when you retire. That's my plan. All right. Don't forget to like the video, guys. Yes, commenting in the description if you want. Hit us with a sub today. We've had a long stream, and it's been a long day for a lot of people. A lot of volatility. Take one quick look back at the corn before we wrap up here. Consolidating up here. Just swept the highs as I was talking about 30 minutes ago. So that's interesting. But no huge rejection there. There's going to be people trying to short this, you know, speculating that it was just the Tesla news and just like that big China pump back in 2019, that it's just going to come right back out of the market. But this time it's different, I would think. Either way, I'm not shorting this thing. I'm not looking to rush and take profits. There's a paradigm shift happening. Everything we talked about, everything we foretold, all the things we dreamed of are coming real and true before our eyes. I don't want to put myself on the sideline anywhere around here. Anywhere. But I bet that I can get my wicks fill on my volatility play by the end of the week on ETH. So I'm hoping on $1,800 ETH by the 12th. That would clear the second leg of this trade and make it an absolute banger. For now, it's a free position with a small profit. Could be a big profit if this thing cashes in. So we'll find out on Thursday. I'll be back on Wednesday, 3 p.m. and Friday, 3 p.m. We got Rob Levy in the house on Wednesday at 3 Eastern time. And he's going to come on and just talk charts. He's going to basically just join me and talk this. He's going to share. I'll tell you this. Used to be an options market maker at the CBOE, president of Hxro. But I mean, God, is he a sharp trader. He makes coin. And on the side, you know, I mean, he's up to his eyeballs in Hxro related business all day, every day. I mean, imagine what it feels like to run an exchange and still just messing around is just crushing the market. So I can't wait to talk to him, pick his brain, get as much of his alpha out that I can understand, that I can share with you guys, and we can all grasp a little bit of what he's doing. So we're going to start doing that on Wednesday and into next week on a much more regular basis. He'll be joining me. I think we're going to just do a whole new stream. Options Rob or whatever we're going to call it. I don't know. We'll figure something out, but he's keen to get on here a little more, and I'm keen to learn more from him. And if anyone else is keen to join me in that regard, you'll be able to do it live with us here whenever. Tuesday, Thursday evening. We're not sure yet, but we'll figure that out. So appreciate it, Paul Young, and everybody else, wherever you're watching from today. Appreciate every single one of you guys. If you want to slide over to YouTube and give us a sub, it's kind of like paying to help us out, but it actually doesn't cost you a thing. So that's always appreciated, but I'm mostly just here to talk shit and do some charts with you guys and help you all learn from the things that I've done wrong. No, seriously though. I hope you're all well. Have a wonderful day, and whatever you do between now and Wednesday, always play from a position of strength. Take care.